is going to be an interesting one today with all of
It's
the.
Monday. Yeah.
Oh, LinkedIn said we're not approved for.
So no
That's
streaming
interesting.
on LinkedIn. Boo.
Okay.
Okay.
I
Well,
will
so
have to go figure out. Yeah,
we
that's
attempted
fine.
it. Good morning. Good start of the week for for most people. Hello and welcome to the Monday edition of Bean Streaming, where my good buddy Cobus and I do some tech on a Monday morning. Actually, we do both Monday and Friday mornings, and today we just got this above my head. Should I? Okay.
There we go. I'm fixing it.
You're fixing it better. Okay, cool. So, Cobus and I are doing some lovely techs at these kind of bean streaming sessions where we dive into some sort of AWS or cloud technology every week, well, every Monday and every Friday. And today, we have a specific plan that I kind of winged on Friday when I was alone. Yes, Cobus, I was alone.
I'm sorry. There
When
was
I
a
tried to
scheduling
look at
mix-up.
GitHub Actions, and I have no idea what GitHub Actions, or actually how do GitHub Actions function. So because Cobus did a talk on GitHub Actions not so long ago, I decided, you know what? Let's show me GitHub Actions. Let's get into some GitHub action, I guess. So today we're gonna be doing that a bit, or actually, I'm gonna be mostly asking questions here, and Cobus is gonna be trying to teach me what the ways of the GitHub Actions are.
Awesome. Let me quickly get the
You
things
set up.
open that I need.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you set up.
We're gonna.
For anybody who's new on the stream or first time joining, this is a very disorganized stream. We have a relatively rough idea what we want to do, and we just kind of go with it. And feel free to ask us any questions in the chat, and we're happy to to diverge into that question and kind of go off a tangent talking about things. So welcome. This is open for everybody, and we are very happy to have you here. We're also attempting to stream on Periscope, which is like the Twitter thing. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. That's
We
interesting.
tried to do it on LinkedIn, but LinkedIn didn't work.
Yeah, I'll see if I can figure out what's going on here. Interesting.
We need to
It
be
doesn't
approved
like
for
my
LinkedIn,
GitHub password.
Yeah.
See what's going on here.
A
Okay.
GitHub password. Oh, paste it in
Yeah,
the chat,
no.
Cobus. So I'll check it
Oh
out.
yeah. Let me just throw it out there quickly. Sorry, I'm literally just quickly logging. I've got a brand spanking new Windows Subsystem for Linux 2 installation. New Windows install, everything. So there's a little bit of setup here and there that I still need to complete. For example, logging into GitHub on here.
So I caught Cobus off guard because like 15 minutes before this broadcast began, he's like, "So what are we gonna talk about?" I'm like, "GitHub Actions," and he's been racing ever since to configure all of that stuff.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We can now let's actually start sharing some stuff. I wonder if this is going to work.
Okay.
We're going to share some stuff. Share screen. Screen one. There we go. Let's just add it on. Ooh, that is definitely too small.
You need to zoom in a bunch.
Ooh, what?
Now you pressed Windows something. Oh God, no.
How do I get out of this?
Let me remove this.
Yeah, please. I honestly,
So you have to move the mouse down. So you basically zoom the entire screen.
Oh, this. Yeah. No, don't. There we go.
I see. It looks better now.
Unburn. Yes. Ooh, that was a bit rough. Sorry for that, people.
Can I add it to the screen?
Let me just double check exactly what's going on here. Wow.
Control Plus should be the thing, but not Windows Plus. If you bang on Windows Plus, you get the Windows zoom.
So life this side of the world is slightly more complicated because I've been developing Mac for a whole while, so I need to remap Control and Start, right?
Okay.
But we're not done yet because I also use Synergy and my keyboard is plugged into my desktop and then shared into my Mac laptop. So I need to do another key mapping. So that sometimes goes horribly wrong.
Oh boy. Okay.
Like we just did. So in theory, let me try the other control. Plus. Nope, that doesn't work. Start plus. That doesn't work. Let me just click here.
Can you control and scroll?
Oh, no, wait. Okay, this time I know how to stop this.
You did something wrong.
Yeah, no, it's that zoom. I need to figure out how to disable that.
And you're using Synergy?
Okay.
Or no?
Yes, I'm using Synergy, yeah. Cool. Yeah, morning, Dank Nuts. Yes, this is what happens on a Monday when I haven't had enough coffee yet. Excuse me for a second. And I'm getting caught off guard. Okay, so let's see if it's a right-click window thing. Oh, yes, it is. This is interesting.
But you,
Okay.
you're using CMD or the
Yes.
Windows terminal? It's the
No,
Windows
this
terminal.
is the Windows subsystem for Linux. So I
But
literally
yeah, but
just...
have you installed the Windows terminal?
No, shall we do so?
Oh, you made a mistake.
Is it,
So
is it in the
there's this
shop?
thing called the Windows terminal. Yeah, it's available in the thing. So it's
In the
it's a
thing.
lovely application that looks like this, and
Okay.
it is supports like tabbing, and it's a proper terminal. It's really
Cool.
good. So
Very
it
good.
was in preview for a long time, but it is working quite good.
And fun question then. How do I connect this to my Windows Linux subsystem?
It does it by default. So if you open it, you have these things. You have a bunch
Ah,
of different types of shells. Like I have two Ubuntu running. Well, actually, the first one is 18.1 and it's disabled, but this is the one running. So if I
cool.
want to do PowerShell, it opens PowerShell like this, and no blue background.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's have a look here quickly. And now let's see if this can...
While Cobus is doing that, I'm going to show off my newest lovely favorite tool. It's called bpytop. It's the Bash Python top. It's a lovely
Sounds like some
command
rapping.
line system monitoring tool, which looks very hackerish when you show it to people. So it is really cool.
I actually cannot see how to increase the screen size on this either.
Control plus, yeah, Control plus.
Yeah, Control Plus is what gets me into trouble in the first place.
Oh, then try Windows plus. I mean, maybe you have
no.
broken something.
You know what I need to do? Close window. I need to fix these shortcuts quickly. I don't know how to do that.
So
Let's see how bad it looks
Danknuts,
quickly.
You can. That's not the official WSL terminal. It's a thing called Windows Terminal, and it is available to basically anybody from the Windows store. You can, even if you don't run WSL, you can still use it for command prompts, PowerShell, and all that stuff. So it's right there. So
Okay. So I think I have got it's a little bit on the small side, but it does look like you can read it. I will, as we go along, figure out how I can make this a little bit better.
I mean, you can go to settings. You can go to settings, and it will open up a text editor with your settings files. There you can define the font size if you want to be something bigger.
Oh, so as in settings like this.
No, just
No.
right click, actually the little the arrow key. No, the arrow key
Yeah.
on the next to the tab.
Yeah.
Uh,
There we go.
settings. It's gonna open up a
I
text
haven't
file.
used. Okay, I haven't used Windows in years, so
So
well, properly.
It is complicated a bit. So under defaults, you put a new JSON entry. It's called font
Okay.
size,
Yeah.
and then you can define the font size. So Microsoft has become complicated. So in quotation marks. Yeah,
complete.
there we go. Font size, and just do something, whatever.
Okay.
Save.
Let's see
And
this
if you
works.
save it now, it should automatically apply immediately. So if you go to there you go.
Okay, this is much better. Awesome. Thank you for that one, Darko. Okay, cool. So now we can at least see what's going on.
Good
Awesome.
morning, everybody.
Cool.
For anybody who came in late, welcome to Bean Streaming. This is the Monday edition of Bean Streaming, where Cobus and I discuss technology, AWS, cloud, and whatever. Today's topic is GitHub Actions. I've tried to figure out GitHub Actions on my own, or actually, I had a quick look last Friday, and I don't know how they work. So I've asked Cobus to check this out for me, or actually explain to me how GitHub Actions work, and I want to see them. I want to see GitHub Actions in action.
Yes, that's normally my role.
Yeah, I know. I had to.
Let's see if this
But
works out
in
the
the
box.
meantime, we're figuring out how to do set up a Windows terminal for Cobus under WSL. So we had some issues with scrolling and Cobus's key combinations for synergy. So
Yeah.
excellent. Oh, you WSL, perfect.
Cool. Let me just check here quick. Someone is pinging me about. Okay, no, I can look at that. Wait. No, doesn't work. Okay, cool. So I want to see what happens now. Oh, this is nifty. I must confess, because I've been seeing people do just the code dot to open up the actual application, and
You can do that, yeah. Code dot, and it opens the current window, and it actually opened it in
now.
WSL. So if you look at the bottom, you see WSL Ubuntu. So this is actually running on WSL.
Okay, cool. Like that. Awesome.
So can
now
you zoom into this a bit as well?
Yes. This is also preferences, I remember.
Maybe you can go on view. No.
View didn't have a zoom that I saw initially when I quickly looked. Let's look here. Sorry about this. This is, like I said, this. There we go. Preferences, settings. Probably text editor.
Font.
Where have we got font?
Let's
see.
Text editor under cursor, find font.
Oh, there we go. Font 14. 18 sounds like a good one. Oh, yeah. Save.
But that's just for the text editor, so nothing else will be bigger, but that's okay, I guess.
So let's say quickly features. Actually, you know what? This is one of those fun things. Font. Commonly used. Font. Editor. Find formatting. Workbench. Editor manager. Nope. Okay. Let's leave that. I mean, at least
Cobus is trying to do that, but he has Synergy configured, or basically he's using a single keyboard and mouse across multiple hosts, and for him, control and doing anything.
It works.
It works.
Yes, it works.
There you go. You can do the same in terminal. Okay. So if you open up the terminal and control mouse wheel, that should work for as well. So.
No, that didn't work. Trust me. Didn't we see what happens? Yes. Yes, I know. Life is rough. But getting back to what we're going to do today. Okay. GitHub Actions. Woo!
So cool. What are GitHub Actions, Cobus?
Go. So when you commit code, you want it to probably get somewhere else, not just sit in the dusty repo and gather more dust. So you need to get it out there, and getting it out there usually involves either building the code or at least linting it and packaging it or something, and then taking it and actually putting it on your wherever destination might be. So what GitHub Actions is a CI type system built into GitHub that allows you to run different steps, and you can go quite wild, I think, on the workflow, which is something I still need to dig in a bit more, and we can do that today. Is how do you go and do things in parallel branches? How do you, for example, do wait conditions for other steps to finish, those kind of things. But bottom line is it allows you to run things directly when you commit code. And how that works is that you define a workflow, and you can see it over here on the screen. And this specific workflow I call Terraform, because what I did is I built a workflow for a talk I did last week to show how you can create infrastructure as code using Terraform with GitHub Actions on AWS. Okay. So quite a lot of interesting things combined here. So let's quickly dig into just what the steps are just before we start actually building and playing around and breaking things again. So the first thing is you give it a name. And you can see at the top here, Terraform, and
Can I just so compared to other CI tool, this is basically a CI tool, right? Continuous integration tool out there. Does it support like D or CD? Technically, it can, right? But how would you compare it to Jenkins or even Code Pipeline?
So far what I've seen is it's I wouldn't say Code Pipeline is more a blend between Code Build and Code Pipeline all in one. The reason for that is you can see there are some specific steps up here which are Code Pipeline like, in the sense that you just tell it to do certain things like, for example, do a checkout. But here you can see you can actually run specific commands. Now, the interesting thing with the command is that it is JavaScript behind the scenes, I learned. So you can actually create your own JavaScript modules and code and actually commit that as well as additional workflow extension options, it seems. I haven't dug into that yet. I need to. But you can see over here that we're running things where we copy it and set it up, and it's with values. So it's, like I said, it feels like a blend between the two. It's not just pure code build where you've got command line options, but it's got more advanced ones as well. So what have we got? I need to keep my cursor to that side. Cool. So what we have over here is you can see this is the entire thing that spins it up. It does some Terraform. And then where the interesting part comes in, this is where I feel a lot of the value is this little part over here where you can have...
where you can have emojis?
Yes, that as well. That actually render here that didn't render on my previous place that I was looking at. And the thing that I like here is if you define a script, and then what you can do is we're getting an output here based on a whole bunch of code. that we can run. And then we can actually just run this little snippet over here, boom, and do a comment on the PR. And you've got access to the whole GitHub package here in terms of to do different things like create a new PR, do new things, etc., etc.
That is very nice. I like that. I like that. I am a fan of that. Because basically you can keep all the data within the single pull request, all right? That's cool.
This is super cool. So what that means, and now let me see if I can just drag this over here. Oh no, wait. Come. Okay. Yeah, okay. Windows is working. Woohoo! Cool. So here's the repo that I had. Well, not have. You can go check it out if you want to. It's a public repo for setting all of this up. So when we look over here, you can see the action section. And this is also where it becomes quite nice. As you can see, this is the workflow for everything. And you can see how things have built, did it work, didn't work, etc. So if we go look at my pull requests over here, we can see that there are 3 closed ones. And if I just grab the one that I did in the demo, so this one, I believe. There we go. What you can see over here is this is where the nice part comes in with the output, is that you can see, for example, success based on the output. And if you say show plan, it actually shows you what Terraform wants to do, including, in this case, no changes. Let's see if this one has some changes.
There's one.
Yeah.
No, it's a broken push.
Well, the question is, it didn't show me the rest. Okay. So the output, you can see, here we go. Okay, here we can see the output. Now, granted, one of the things that I've been struggling with, and just quickly to show you what I mean with struggling, is you can see that from my commit history down here. Some entertainment that I had trying to get this to work. There seems to be some weirdness in the output from Terraform, that if you try and put it inside a code block, which is normally 3 tildes, so the little slashes, not tilde, the backtick, 3 backtick, then it only puts like the bottom part of your message in it. So if I go back to where's my code now here? So basically what I had initially was that there was this little chunk at the end.
Okay.
But if I put triple ticks in here, that doesn't go into a code block, even though the sample do. So that was a little bit of a frustrating part. But regardless of that, it's still super useful because guess what? Here we go. When you look at this show plan, what you can see is actually the list of everything that it wants to create. Now, obviously, this is just with infrastructure as code, but if you do this with things like your actual code as well, you can have your test outputs in here as well because I know normally if you want to output back to the PR request, either the system that you're using needs to be integrated with it, and it just says, oh, there's a link, by the way, versus actually, some usable output. Because remember, infrastructure, as you always say, infrastructure is code. So we want our friends to be able to review it properly in one place and to ask them to go here, click somewhere else, view a result, come back, approve. That gets a bit messy. So this is awesome. Now what we can do is we can actually scroll down and say, okay, cool, you want to do this. Wait, hold on. What's going on here? Why are you doing this? Let's add some comments to it. Yeah.
And there's a limit, I guess, to a comment size that can be. I mean, I think character-wise.
I'm assuming so, but as you can see, it's quite long because this was an entire VPC that I spun up. You can see we're still going.
That's quite a bunch, yeah.
Yeah, VPCs are busy. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. That's a very cool thing.
So this was cool. I mean, just going back to the code a little bit. Let me just close this one. This is the one I want. Cool. You can see here when you look at the code, remember this code lives literally, this workflow is in the same repo as your actual code. Wow. So you can see over here, I've got my Terraform code down here, and up here, I've got that .terraform YAML. And the other interesting part here is that when you use Terraform Cloud, so this one I went like all in for doing it funky, in the sense of seeing how it works. So what you'll see up here as well is that this is just a GitHub script action. So it kind of seems that they use containers behind the scenes for this, because the impression I get is that there's every step is a little container that it downloads and it attaches a volume or moves the files so that you can actually access it in the next step. Because where it becomes fun here is that over here, you run Terraform init. Now, granted, in this case, there was a step up here where we say set up Terraform. And there you can say uses this. And this lets me think that's how it actually pulls down the container for it.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is how you would set up Terraform. And then the fun part really becomes when this starts running, this Terraform has been set up to use Terraform Cloud. So it doesn't actually execute the Terraform here locally. It executes it on Terraform Cloud on the side and then pipes the output from there into this GitHub action. So you're actually making use of multiple things.
And how do you give the permissions? That's like, where do you set
So
credentials?
that becomes a little bit interesting. So
Okay.
what you do is you go to Terraform Cloud and you set up a new workspace. Let me actually open that up quickly. Here we go. Should still have it on here. It's app.terraform.io, I believe. Sorry. Just checking it out. Okay, let me quickly just take this. Can you just take me off the screen quickly? I want to just quickly log in. All the
secret password. Yeah, because like I think if it requires Hunter 2, if this thing requires like Terraform Cloud, are you able to do it without Terraform Cloud at all, or is it mandatory that you have Terraform?
You can probably. It'll be interesting to see if you can just install any binary inside a GitHub step and actually use that. Yeah. My gut feel there tells me no. The reason is that generally these kinds of services that just allow you to run anything is blocked because otherwise people put Bitcoin miners on there.
Yeah, fair point. No, because my question is like for credentials. I mean, even if you were able to run Terraform on a GitHub container or whatever it is, you need to find a way to pass the credentials, and you wouldn't keep the credentials in your repository. Hopefully not.
No. So okay, let's actually dig into this because there are 3 sets of credentials we're going to be dealing with. Okay. So the first set is that the AWS credentials to allow Terraform Cloud and Terraform to be able to provision infrastructure. Yeah. How that works is you would go create IAM users, and then you, for example, go into a specific workspace. So let's go into this. Let's say, oh wait, I'm on the wrong screen again. Sorry. Clicking on the cursor, that doesn't work. So what you can see over here is that I've got settings, and we can see, variables. Don't worry, they're secret. You can't see them.
Okay.
So what you do here is you can add variables to a Terraform Cloud project, and these are then your API credentials to AWS to be able to, when we are inside Terraform Cloud communicating with AWS APIs, we are authenticated. Cool. Okay. So that's the first set of credentials. Now we're good. Then for GitHub and Terraform to be able to communicate, you go and generate on your account over here somewhere. I can't remember exactly where, but you can generate a set of API credentials for Terraform Cloud. Okay. That you go and set on GitHub as a secret for the project, which is under, let's just get to the top here quickly. I believe it's under settings here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you can do those things. Okay. Yeah. Because I'm not a big GitHub user in this kind of a sense. If you can do that, that's amazing.
Yeah. So this is the second set. So this allows GitHub Actions to interact directly with Terraform Cloud on an API level. Then we've got one more set that we have to do, and that's a pair or an SSH key pair that you configure on GitHub.
Okay.
And you add it to Terraform Cloud, because Terraform Cloud uses Git to actually be able to pull code from there as well. So it's a little bit of a roundabout connection, like this, like 3 different things you have to connect all up. But once it's up and running, it seemed to be actually working nice, because the benefit here is that because you're using Terraform Cloud to actually execute your Terraform, all your AWS credentials are contained there. So I can give you, Darko, access to this project via Terraform Cloud. And you can locally, when you initialize the backend, if you've got an API key in your user setup, you can actually then interact with it. But you don't have AWS credentials. You never have access to the AWS credentials.
That's a very cool
which
thing.
is nice. Yeah. So it means that you can run for example, let's say on the dev one that I've got, you can do your testing and checking that everything is working. And if it passes the CI server, then we merge it to our main branch. And from there, it can go to the other environments, which means you effectively never have access to the production environment, which is awesome.
But in essence, this also means that you can use the GitHub secrets here to store IAM secret access keys as well, and then kind of reference them if you're running some action within GitHub Actions itself to do. Okay, because I wasn't aware of the GitHub secrets thing. Okay, cool. The more you know.
Let's look at this, because I think there is.
There's a secret one. There we go. Amazing.
Yeah. So here you can see. And this is something I think we should play with. But see, so there it references it. So you can set that up to actually do it, and then you can actually. I almost read this as YOLO.
YOLO, yeah. you just YOLO your CDK deployment. No, this is very cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. I like this.
Yeah. So here's the other part that I think is super interesting, especially for CDK, given that cross-account, cross-region deployments are sometimes a little bit fun, even though you've got those pipelines now. But here you can see over there, this part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can
and
assume
that I think is powerful because that does it on I think the CLI profile level, which means you don't have to do that CDK bootstrap.
Yeah.
Well, you probably have to do some
you
kind
have
of
to
CDK
bootstrap.
bootstrap.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah,
bootstrap anyway.
but you don't have to deal with the whole how does it know how to go cross account type thing.
That is very cool. This is I definitely will dig into GitHub Actions with CDK. So awesome.
Oh yeah.
So
I just want to show you quickly this last little part here. So if we look at, there we go. I think I didn't execute this. Oh well, yeah. So this is also, let's see. Yes, it goes bigger. Yay. I'm so scared to press the key now. So over here you can see, this is what it would have applied. So this is a boring one. Let's go to one of the error ones. That should be a little bit more interesting. So over here you can see that it didn't have variables, so you can actually see the output over here as well. Nice colored output to see where the error was. And if we go to one of the successful runs, let's say, so over here, you can see the plan finished. So in the plan, this should look familiar if you've done Terraform before. So this is where you can see, well, this is the changes I want to do, just spin up a basic resource. And then here at the bottom, apply. And the other nice part about this as well is you can put in manual steps, so manual approval by someone else. So I can go ahead and say, listen, we've gone through the whole CI/CD engine, but still there's a manual step. And that manual step seems to be, you can do it on the Terraform Cloud side, or you can actually do it on Github Actions as well, possibly. But I haven't dug into that too much yet.
Interesting. Like I've never seen it in Terraform Cloud, so this is new to me as well. So, kind of a sidestep here. Terraform Cloud is the platform that allows you to execute Terraform code not from your workstation but from somewhere else, right?
Yes. So if you think about it, so in Terraform, you know how to configure the backends where you say this is where I'm going to be storing my state file. Yeah.
Okay.
So I initially thought that Terraform Cloud is just a place to store your backend. And I'm like, whatever, that's nice, but I know how to do it with S3.
Yeah.
But then I found out, no. It's also where it actually runs the Terraform. So even if you do it locally, so for example, let's actually see what happens if I run that here. Get me a terminal, new terminal, Terraform init. Let's see. I haven't installed Terraform. Let's quickly do that. That should be a few seconds.
While Cobus is doing that, hello and everybody, welcome to the stream. So I see a bunch of new people joined. Welcome to the Monday edition of Bean Streaming. It's a stream where my buddy Cobus and I talk some AWS tech, some cloud in general. We try to build things and explain technology to each other and to you at the same time. And today's topic is actually GitHub Actions. I've never seen GitHub Actions in my life, so I asked Cobus here to show me how this works. And he's actually using a great example here from one of his talks from last week of how to do Terraform with GitHub Actions. So if you're interested in any of those, welcome and enjoy watching our screen. And yeah, the GitHub Actions do seem quite cool, I must agree. And hello to Kathir from London. Hello, and William is again, and Joe and Arcane. Welcome back to the recurring viewers. We appreciate your appreciate you being here. So Kathir. Topic of today is GitHub Actions. So we're trying to figure out how GitHub Actions work, or actually I'm trying to figure out, Cobus already knows, I'm trying to figure out how they work, and Cobus is actually showing this to me. So it should be interesting. At least so far it is. Hey, Robert from Ghana. Hi, we have quite a worldwide audience today. So yeah.
Nice.
Cobus is from Cape Town, South Africa. I am from Berlin, Germany. Well, I'm based in Berlin, Germany, but I'm originally from Serbia. So we are also quite apart, and the ping delay seems okay, right? we can quite hear each other quite okay. So are you opening a link?
Yeah, I'm just quickly going to stop this here. I want to double check that.
What were you doing right now? You're trying to log into Terraform Cloud?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's why
we also diverge into Terraform Cloud apparently here, because the things that Cobus is doing via GitHub Actions is actually going through Terraform Cloud. So and Terraform Cloud is the Terraform's backend / a place where you can actually execute your Terraform code from. So Joe from India. Hi, Joe. Joe, you're based in Dubai, right? If I understand correctly, or UAE, if I recall from our last streams, because I think you were mentioning that.
Okay. We done. I'm almost there. Sorry.
Almost there, Cobus. No, that's fine. That's fine. I'll keep entertaining people. I'll tell you a sad story while
Right.
Cobus finish. Oh, okay, he's done. Okay, no sad
Yes.
stories from me.
Yes. Okay. So I think this is now set up. Let's see.
Okay.
So now I can go Terraform plan. Do I
Can
have
you
the
zoom in a
variable
bit, Cobus?
files?
Can you zoom in just a bit?
Okay.
Scroll,
Uh,
control scroll. Better. Till last week you're back in India. Oh well, I guess it's good to be home.
oh, nice. Cool. So what have we got going here? Now, I just need to quickly double check because there's a couple of interesting things where Terraform Cloud differs from normal Terraform. So normal Terraform, I would be able to do this. Var file equals, and then just specify some variable file. So a variable
Okay.
file is, but you can't with Terraform Cloud. So I need to go and copy this var ones. This is the dev one into /, but you can't just call it dev.tfvars. You have to add an auto in it, which is interesting because otherwise it won't pick it up. TFRs, so I'm going to copy that here. And I'm also going to copy the backend because that's where I configure, and I can actually open that up. Let's shoot backend quickly. Dev backend. It just says Terraform backend remote Cobus Bernard and the actual name of it. Okay. So there's nothing secret in there, but you have to copy that as well. So dev backend to this local one, /backends. No, sorry, just here. Cool. And now I can go again, Terraform init, because now have a look at what happens. So now it's going to go initializing the backend. And this is where it says like, oh, you're using Terraform Cloud. Okay. That's interesting. So let's see how it goes.
Okay. Fingers crossed.
Right. It seemed to work.
Okay.
So this will be a very interesting doing the demo again live. Let's see.
So
now,
okay, so
right
running the plan. Okay.
Do you see that little visit that one? Cool. So now let's actually see. Can I just click on it? Copy. Oh, that was a very loud bling in my ear. Let's pop it in here. Oh, you can see the number of tokens. Okay, here we go. Plan running. Yeah. Now there's a very good chance this might break.
That's fine. I mean, it doesn't really matter, I guess. But this, so in essence, this is running the Terraform apply, or the plan in this case, on somewhere in the black magic of the cloud, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fair point.
Yeah. So you can see here, so here's the output now, and that output was actually then streamed here locally. So this is what fascinated me, is that you don't execute locally anymore, which means this workstation needs internet access. It doesn't need access to AWS directly at all.
Yeah.
So this is quite nice. Yeah.
That's very cool. That is very, very cool, I must say.
Yeah. No. That's nice. So yeah, and then you can obviously just go ahead and go apply, and then it does things and keep tracks of it for you. So this is what I enjoy about it. It's like it setup initially does seem a little bit convoluted given that it's 3 different parties, but you can understand between you, actually 4 parties, you, your AWS account, Terraform Cloud, and GitHub. They all need to, understand each other.
I mean, that's still okay. I mean, I think that's perfectly fine because, especially if you can set up it so rigidly, like with Terraform Cloud, where you keep your AWS credentials and your Terraform Cloud credentials, you keep on GitHub secrets, and then you have this chain of things. But even because it is a chain, you can actually more easily delegate access by giving some people access only to GitHub repo, and then they don't have access to like the keys or whatnot. So that is very cool. You can do GitHub Actions code build.
This is what I want to play with next, is because I'm very used to running my steps inside code build. So you can actually use code build, it seems, to run things. So I would definitely want to try this. So
very cool. Hello, Em. Hey, you say you're using GitHub Actions right now. I see why do you think they're cool. I think that's very cool. Anything that can be defined through a single configuration file within your repository is just the bee's knees, as they say. I like the fact that you can have this YAML file here that you define how your workflow should look like within the repository itself. I mean, AWS code build and code deploy has something similar where you define the build steps and the deploy steps. That's all fine, but this applies to everything. So I think I like that. Cool. What else? What other things can we do with GitHub Actions in this case? I mean, besides
Let's
just
have a look.
how does the deploy work? Like, I'm wondering, like in this case, you're just triggering a Terraform plan and apply, right?
Yes, effectively, but I mean it's up to you. So I think let's try the following. I want to see what happens if we add another file to
Yeah.
that repo. Where'd my editor go? So you can see over here I've got the Terraform YAML one.
Yeah.
So let's quickly see what happens if I copy that. GitHub workflows Terraform to
GitHub, not .git. GitHub,
yeah, Terraform. Let's just call it being streaming.
Okay.
Cool. Git status. Git add. I'm just going to add the GitHub one. I don't need to add the other one because the steps take care of that for us.
Okay.
Workflows, being streaming, YAML, git commit. I probably have to fix the author now. Trying second workflow. Cool. There we go. Forgot about this part. Of course, this is a brand new setup. Can you smell it? Oh, there's that cool dad joke. Why does a man's knees go weak and he can't think straight whenever he's close to a woman wearing leather pants?
I don't know.
She smells like a new car.
God, that's horrible. Gout Spouse asks Cobus, any tips to getting started? I guess you're asking about getting started with GitHub Actions. So Cobus, what would you suggest to people like Goat Spouse and myself to get started with GitHub Actions?
Literally search for whatever it is you're trying to do. There seems to be very good documentation. I must really commend the Terraform team on this, or HashiCorp team on this. It's like they walk through with little animated images showing you exactly how to set up is like, it's very good. So what I would say is go look at one of the examples, just get a basic thing working, and then start adding more to it. Because remember, treat this like you treat all your code. Remember, this is your infrastructure as code for your infrastructure as code. If we want to go that meta level, so when you make a change to your workflow, commit and push on a PR, and keep trying like that, because that way you can actually figure out what works, what doesn't work. Because what I did end up doing initially was I made this long file, made lots of changes, thinking add all the fancy bits to it, and then ended up going like, crap, it doesn't work. So then ripped it all out and started again. So literally do like you code.
But Cobus, does this only work for pull requests, or does this work for any commit?
No.
Okay. If I commit something to the mainline branch, right? Would this not work? Okay. So it supports. Very cool, like that.
So quickly, this firstly says when does this workflow run? So you can have a workflow that's, for example, pull request only. Or in this case, you can say I'm running for every pull request, and I'm also running on any push to the main branch. So in other words, when you do a merge into main branch.
Got it.
Effectively, right. And then what you have is, remember it's further down here on the apply section. So output, here we go. And there you can see, it's a little bit off the screen. So you see that line.
Right.
Oh, rough weekend. So I'm just putting on the next line now, even though it's not the right syntax. So that line you can see over there is that you can check if it's the main branch and this is a push. So you've got fine-grained control over different steps as well. So we've got that. So now what I need to do is I just need to and what is it? That's fine. Okay. Wrong place. Git status again. Did it accept my commit? No, it didn't. There we go. Let's just commit again because I can't be local. There we go. Git branches. Am I? I think I'm in the main. Oh, this is going to be ugly. Let's just get this out quickly. It's going to break horribly.
Okay.
But that is fine. The reason it's going to break horribly is that I am now doing that thing you're not supposed to, which is developing directly on main branch. If you want to try and be collaborative, you should be doing a PR, but I'm going to argue that no, I'm doing trunk-based development.
Trunk-based development, yes.
No. This is a little bit of a YOLO. So let's go hop over to GitHub. Doom Actions. Let's see what we got. All workflows, just one workflow. Okay, interesting. So it's actually running two workflows. Oh,
did you make two push? Two? But it
no, I did. Yeah, I did, but Wait,
Ooh.
where's the file? Wait, where'd the file go? Wait, hold on. GitHub
Did you
Workflows green stream. I'm certain I copied it.
Refresh. Just click the refresh button on top. Yeah.
There we go. But we didn't make a mistake. That was just, me trying to show you how to learn. I promise. I'm joking. This is obviously a clear, interesting thing because what I can see here is, if we go there again, it's actually running two workflows, but in the UI it only displays one because guess what? The name is the same.
Oh,
yeah. So, yep. Cobus needs more coffee and is not paying attention. So let's just add that again.
And the workflows show up on the repository? I didn't check that.
Oh yeah. Workflow. Name gets push. Once again, YOLOing on main because we want to fix this.
Where do you see the workflows?
It's under there's a .github hidden directory. So if you go
that's fine.
there,
yeah, but where do you see? It's actions. Sorry, I was looking for workflows. I got it. Yep. I'm looking at your branch right now on GitHub, so I'm wondering where. I see it as well. Okay. The loveliness of open source. Everybody can see it. Excellent.
Yes. And here you can now see we've got the workflows, and you can actually see how the builds and things are going. Now, obviously, because this is the exact same, workflow, it's not a good thing. But where this becomes very, very, very useful, and this is something I think we need to do in a future episode, is start building some integration bots for GitHub repos, because there are already quite a lot of bots available out there that do things for you. But with this workflow, you can do some interesting things like, hey, listen, please go do, if the PR has been open too long, go close it, etc.
Yeah.
Oh, just quickly, side note, why am I wearing this shirt?
Wayland Yutani? Why? Is this on a special date today?
No.
No?
So do you know who they are, right?
Yeah. I've never watched Alien, by the way. I know.
I'm sorry, Darko, we can't be friends. Wow.
My wife loves it, and she's like, "Oh, let's watch it." I'm like, it kind of went over my head when I was younger. Didn't watch it, and now it seems okay, I guess. I did play the game, the Alien Isolation, a bit.
Okay.
But I didn't watch the movies ever. So, but I know who Wayland Yutani are because I really am a fan of that futuristic corporations that are blah blah blah. Like I love that. So yeah.
So what in the Alien movies where it starts off between Aliens, the second one, is actually where they obviously terraforming a planet.
I love it.
So I wore this on Tuesday as well when I did the talk. So this is my dad humor on a shirt today. Yeah.
Love that. Cool, man. Okay, this one failed. Yeah. But would this run like in parallel? Like two workflows run in parallel?
Oh, that's the thing that's happening at the moment. It's running in parallel and it's breaking. And I believe it's breaking because I remember ripping out a whole bunch of credentials to make sure that if I accidentally showed something on stream that it doesn't break, or people don't do something. So here we can say Terraform.
Yeah, but what kind of workflows will you run parallel like this one? Like a whole workflow. I understand maybe some single steps in the workflow, fine. But what would you execute?
Well,
twice?
Simple. In this case, I would execute my infrastructure as code as one workflow, and then as a second workflow, I would have my actual code testing, building, and all of that. Because remember, they function differently. Because what you can do is then you can build in some smarts into it, saying, listen, if there are no, so let's say the Terraform step comes back with no files or no changes, or if there's a mechanism to check if files in your, let's say, infra directory have not been touched in this commit, then you don't have to rerun it because you're not changing infrastructure. So you can actually do that.
Danknuts, I've seen Star Wars. It's okay.
Which ones?
the old ones. I can hear. I've actually seen Star Wars. I've watched Star Wars on VHS. So I remember them. I've seen the first episode 1. I've seen it in the theater. So it was in 1999, I think, when I've seen it in a theater. Yeah. So I did see Star Wars. I didn't watch Aliens. I didn't watch any of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I never saw the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. What other? I know there are some movies that I've never watched and people make fun of me. what else? What else did I watch? Like, I know Aliens is like a big thing that I didn't want. I didn't watch Game of Thrones until like last year. So
No, same. We also binge watched that, but we did it on purpose. We said we wanted, because we knew the end was coming, we wanted to be able to watch it all in one go. So yeah, that was quite a lot of watching.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, of the science fictions, like I've skipped a bunch. I've seen only Terminator 2, never Terminator 1. I've wonder what else? What are the big things have I not seen? At least the old ones. For the new movies, I don't. I like me and movies are like. I'm not. I don't watch movies. I'm really like rarely watching movies. And now especially I'm broken with TV shows. I just watch TV shows if I watch them, and it's like a binge watch session, and that's about it. So yeah, I'm completely broken. Yeah.
So two things there quickly, Darko. First one is a test for you. Did Han shoot first or not?
I don't know. Like, I know that's a meme and that's kind of a thing, but yes, I guess.
So the answer is yes. In the original video, yes, but then they went and made it, more not to make it look as bad. So then they edited out the fact that he shoots first.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the second one is just if you want to clear out the entire stream quickly from fans, all you do is you say, "Use the Force, Harry," said Gandalf.
Oh yeah, speaking of that, I can't do that. But I never watched Star Trek. Star Trek is something I've never even seen a single episode. None of the Star Treks.
Wow.
And I've tried to watch the original Star Trek, like with William Shatner, but it's completely edge for me. Like, I cannot, like, it's so cheesy that I cannot take it seriously at all. And I guess people in when that was airing, people could watch that seriously, but I can't. Like, no. So
okay, so Danknuts is clearly a proper fan. I love you. And just quickly, that remade version. There's that song by I can't remember the band name. Gautier. It's like someone that I used to know. Go search for the Star Wars that I used to know. They did that, but with all the lyrics changed. And one of the things in there is at one point the stunt double for George Lucas comes up, and what he says is that you'll never get a copy of the Star Wars that you used to know, because the remastered ones they changed, because obviously with episode 1, 2, and 3 it's a young Anakin, Darth Vader, that scenario. So what they did is then in the remastered Blu-ray version of The Last Jedi, the final episode, where there's a scene at the end. They don't want to spoil it for people, but in any case, where a dead Darth Vader appears like in the blue stuff, and then they edited that out. Instead of being the old Darth Vader, they used the episode 3 Darth Vader character, which is like, come on.
Okay, no, no, I don't even. I think I saw remasters at all. So I remember the originals, and those are the ones I watched, and I think I even have a VHS tape at home. So
yeah, cool. Okay, so we are digressing quite badly from tech talk today. Let's get back to this. So it broke. It'll be interesting to see why it broke. So let's quickly just poke at it a little bit. It's not this run. It was one of these runs.
Are you able to see the why it broke on the pull request?
That we should be able to. Let's go
this
back.
Is interesting because if a person who deploys infrastructure sees wide fail.
So here's the challenge. I didn't run it as a branch. So let's quickly do that.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, let's quickly,
I would love it to see that, like, a person who just makes a pull request and commits a pull request, they see if it breaks, even if they don't have access to Terraform Cloud, right?
We need to fix this. Okay, cool. On Bitget branch. Let's just quickly call this bean streaming. Let's just add an extra line over here. And do that. Git status. Git add .github. Here we go. Git commits. Oh, we really need to get a new keyboard.
You have a new keyboard, Cobus, the one you don't want to use.
I do. Don't go there. That's very sad.
He has an amazing keyboard and he refuses to use it. I'm offended. I'm offended, Cobus.
Cool.
By the way, let me show you a sad story. So this is a power supply unit. It came to my house this Saturday, and it's alone. Why is this power supply not in my desktop? Because its friend that should come with it didn't arrive, and its friend is a new GPU. So I'm sad now, and I don't have a new GPU, and first world problems. What is it,
Okay,
Cobus?
so git push. I need to remember this now.
Check out B. Did you
I,
check out the branch?
I did it with M, not B. So I
Um,
forgot about that. Yeah. So
Git check out B and create a new branch,
oh
and
yeah.
then
Okay. Checkouts
dash
dash B.
B.
Yes, but the problem. Okay, yeah, but okay. So here's the thing now. Git status. Git reset. Heads. I think we can do that. Git checkouts main. Sorry, I just have to new call of this. There we go. Git branch. Git branch.
Oh, Gio, did I make a mistake
Dash.
with my Corsair? I have a Corsair in my desktop, like the 550 watt, for the last 3 years, and it served me okay. I know Seasonic are better now. Seasonic are really cool right now, but I don't know. I went with Corsair again, so but I hope it doesn't break on me. So
Save this again. Yeah. Overwrite. There we go. Git status. There we go. Sorry, I was just fixing my branches there. Git adds, GitHub. Boom. Commits. Kicking off the bull. There we go.
Geo, I still have like
There you
a
go.
OCZ power supply in the other PC. So OCZ running for the last, I think, 7 years. So and OCZ doesn't exist anymore, I think. So
Speaking of Darko, I'm going to be tagging you in a tweet later with the image for a recommended YouTube video that is 100% because you and I interact online.
oh, is it?
Yes,
Okay.
it is a review video for a GeForce 380
Okay.
RTX in some Cyrillic language
Ah, okay.
because I
Very
can't
good.
read it.
Okay. I'm still waiting for my 3080. Come on.
Yeah, not there yet. I'm waiting for my new mouse. It's going to come today.
What mouse did you get?
I was very boring. I ended up getting the exact same one as last time, or the latest version of it, which is a Naga Razer Trinity. So it's here's the dead one. This one.
Okay. I got burned by Razer mice. I've literally thrown one out the window because the battery in one, I had a Razer Mamba, and the battery used to last like 6 hours, right? It was horrible. Like it was super bad. You had to like leave it charging all night, and if like my PC wouldn't power on the USB ports if it was off. So I know I was playing. I think I was playing World of Tanks and something like that, and my mouse died mid match, and I just threw it out the window. And I've given up on Razer mice since then. I use myself a very bad an amazing Logitech, but a Bluetooth mouse. So there's a lag, but I'm used to it.
Nope. That's one of the things I completely gave up on Bluetooth because of two reasons. One, battery's going flat, and the lag just killed me on the mice, mice, whatever the plural is. And the worst was I've got one of these. Oh, sorry for banging that. One of these.
Okay, the best keyboard ever. I know. I have it.
Yes.
I have it as well.
No, this is not the best keyboard. This is the second best. The best was the white versions of these way back that were a lot more mechanical. They were a lot more clicky. Those were, but you only get them in the PS2 port, so you can't really use them that well anymore. But they just the feel of them were just like better. But so when this version of the Bluetooth is, and I'm not a particularly fast typer, I can do about 65, 70 words a minute. It could not keep up with my keystroke, especially when you're doing chords.
Wow.
We use like multiple keys together. It had a limit of, I think, 2 keys. You can't do 3 together.
Wow.
Okay.
That sucks.
Do you see what I see on the screen?
Review. Okay. I see a merge blocked. Ooh.
So this is how it gets fun. Yeah. So what I've done is I've kicked off a build on the pull request by pushing commit on a PR on a new branch, then creating a PR for it. And now what's happening is we can actually see things happening. And over here we can see the Github Actions now trying to do things. Over here it's refreshing a whole bunch of things. Figures out that it needs to go create a whole bunch of things. That's fine. And then probably the second build, this one, I'm expecting this to break because I'm expecting some concurrency issues given that I'm pointing it at the same Terraform backend. So
Got it.
Oh, actually, both passed. Now, obviously, so what I've set up here, and this is the important part, is like when you start really digging into building out workflows, is go and set protected branches for your main branch in your repo. That way, you can force people to say, listen, you can't merge unless all the build checks pass, and also unless at least one or how many people you want have given it a thumbs up.
Got it.
And that actually is a great way for reviewing. So it's literally like you
Absolutely.
get someone else to go buddy review your stuff, make sure it works, and then you get it out there.
I like this. I like
Yeah.
this. I would definitely like
Obviously,
to play around with this with some CDK as well. So that may be a potential for a future stream where we can do some
if only we had a
CDK.
CDK project that we need to automate.
I don't know. We'll have to think of some. Awesome. Like this.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So I think what we'll do then in future is, I mean, like I said, this whole repo, you can go ahead and just
Yeah.
clone it if you want.
Yeah, I pasted the link before, so the link is here in the chat. Make sure to check out this link or for the repo for all the stuff Cobus has done right now, and you can actually see in real time the changes he made in the workflows being kicked off, because it's open source, and even the actions are open source, which is kind of like a weird thing. You're only used to seeing like code being open source, but like a lot of things happening on that code are now open source. You can see it, so pretty nice.
And I'm going to put that link out there for everyone quickly. Boom, boom, boom. Sure, that went everywhere. Interesting, I can't post the Periscope. Well, we're trying a couple of new things today. So that's the actual talk that I did earlier this week on this, where I like walk through the whole setup of everything step by step and connecting it and showing you how to do it. So you can go have a look at that video if you want to see more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wait, I don't have to put money in the jar. This is our show. Yay.
This is our show, so you don't have to put money in the jar. Yeah.
Yes.
So
For those that are new, we've got this one.
there we go. So speaking of money in the jar, I also made a video last week, my first proper YouTube video. Which,
Oh yes, tell us about that.
I've like most of my YouTube videos on my YouTube channel are basically my recordings of my streams, right, with a few exceptions. But I've did like a proper prepared, not scripted, but prepared YouTube video where I talk about infrastructure as code. And I learned a lot of things. I learned that my camera is horrible when it records through USB. Even now, there's a delay, right? When I talk, there is a slight audio desync because the video goes through USB. It's USB 2.0, and it's a bit limited, right? So like the best way you can see it is if I clap my hands, the sound comes a bit later or earlier than the video. And my YouTube video has that thing. So I'm not happy about that. Also, I figured out that I am horrible at editing videos. So I need to figure out how to do that a bit better. So when I say editing, I mean like making proper intros and doing maybe some transitions if needed. But I made up something in a really short amount of time. So, and the third part is I figured out I should never record directly through USB, not just because of the audio delay, but because of the video quality. I've actually did a side-by-side test of me recording through the cable and me recording directly on the camera. Way better. So I'll most likely just record on the camera. I have a limitation on the camera. Only half an hour of video can be recorded in a single sitting. It's a European law. I can't use custom firmware. Nope. EOS M50 doesn't support the custom firmware. So yeah, I know. So it's a problem, right? But it's I've can only do 30 minutes, but I guess it's okay, right? 30 minutes is fine. Especially if I'm gonna do. I don't plan to do long YouTube videos. YouTube video should be like 15 minutes, right? I've made a 20-minute video, even if I tried to do my best not to be a long video. But yeah, so that was really fun. But I think I will do another one this week. I don't know the topic yet, but I'll try to do it better. So I had a few people offering me support, like, hey, I can help you with the intro. So so that should be fine.
So for those that are curious to get into streaming, let's just see quickly.
M50 Canon. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
but,
there we go. So here's the thing.
HDMI, yeah.
Yes, but this is the thing. If you are wanting to get into streaming, you're looking at buying a camera, come to the Elgato site because they've got the device. Well, device is about this big, Camlink that I use too at the moment, one for the camera, one for the desktop. But besides that, even if you don't want to use their hardware, this is super useful where they show you the details of the camera. So, for example, here you can see clean HDMI, no, unlimited runtime, no. So that's unfortunately the challenge.
Yeah, I've actually bought like a piece of software called SparkoCam. So if you use an EOS M50 or any of the Canon cameras, there's a tool for Windows called SparkoCam. SparkoCam basically enables you to do what I'm doing right now. It costs like $50, and it enables like unlimited runtime and all that stuff. So, but again, no HDMI, no high quality output like you have there. So
apologies, I'm going to mute for a second. I think this might be my mouse. Hold on.
Your mouse. Okay. His mouse is arriving. I thought like his mouse was calling. Yeah. In any way, what Cobus was saying here is that when you're trying to do some streaming, the mouse came. That's fine. So the thing when it comes to streaming, it's very important that you choose the right camera. I didn't choose the right camera. It's okay for this, right? It's fine. I kind of went on the cheap side to bought something much cheaper than something like EOS R, which is way expensive. But I have limited things. So if I do with HDMI, you would see like a out of focus square on my face, which is horrible. Or if I completely disable autofocus, then it would work, but no autofocus, and it will turn off every, I think, 30 minutes as well. So, yeah. So hey, Stuart, hi. We are good. Today we were doing something with GitHub Actions. So Cobus was showing me how GitHub Actions work. He actually played around with GitHub Actions and Terraform, which was really cool. And I'm a fan. GitHub Actions are basically the CI/CD solution from GitHub. Gives you the ability to basically do something with your code once you commit it. So you can build it, you can potentially deploy it, or do whatever kind of actions you want against that code. So it is a really, really nice thing. And what I like about that is that the code is the way you define your action or the workflow is actually defined in your code. So it's really, really cool. So yeah, it's really great for CI automation. So Cobus, that's not a mouse. Oh, that's a knife. Okay. I cannot hear you. You're mute. You're mute. You're mute.
There we go. That's better.
Yeah.
So this is actually my oldest possession. I got this pocket knife in 94, 95, I believe, and I still have it, and I haven't lost it.
Wow.
I've lost half of it though, but yeah.
Wow.
So now I get to be a proper YouTube streamer. We are today. We are unboxing.
Unboxing. Ooh.
I hope it's this at least.
Hope it's not some toy. Let's call it that way.
Oh, I've got a great story for that one. So years ago, I had a friend who, because for shipping things here is not as easy.
Yeah.
So he went overseas and asked him, hey, listen, can I, ship something to you? It's going to be that big. And he's like, sure, no problem, whatever. What do you want me to ship? And I'm like, obviously make some kind of joke about a very dodgy sex toy. And he's like, okay. And doesn't ask me anything further. Then fast forward a few weeks, then he sends me this picture of a box about this big with a big stick on the front that says grease me. And he just asks like, hey, listen, were you joking or not? Because I need to take this through the airport. Are they going to stop me or not? So what did I order?
Grease me.
Handles for a Golf 3 car.
Okay,
because the handles were broken. Yeah.
Wow.
So here's the little box.
Okay. Let me remove this thing. I want to see your box. I want to see the unboxing approach here.
We need some background noise, music here, and
I had a similar situation on the airport. A colleague of mine, he bought some kinky stuff for his wife, like handcuffs or something like that, right? And he got stopped at the Frankfurt airport, and they found that in his hand luggage. And when I saw them picking it out, I ran to him like, "Oh, they found it!" And then it took us like a minute or so to go, no, not for us. I just know he bought it. There was no going back from there.
Okay. Cool. So let's have a look. I have got a little manual. It says, it's transparent. Nice.
It's a mouse.
And it's signed by the CEO and co-founder.
Did he do it correctly? Did he sign?
No. This is printed, obviously. Congratulations. Blah, 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 blah. Now take your weapon and find an opponent worth crushing. Happy hunting.
Okay.
Right. And then a very big, some stickers. Nice stickers.
There we go, Razor stickers.
Yeah. Cool. That's as far as my unboxing is going to go in detail, and then the actual mouse itself.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
I've done.
I will plug this in later.
I've done my unboxing last week with my power supply by my own, but. What's good about power supplies, you get a bag of cables, and these cables
those are nice.
Yeah, they're black, they're not colorful. I wish they were like the multicolor ones, like the proper.
Oh, but you get kits for that nowadays.
You can get them, yeah. But I was.
This is different.
Is it? Did you get a different mouse?
No, it's the same mouse. So it looks. Let me see side by side quickly. So A and B
Oh God, that's a
about the
disgusting
same.
mouse. It's the same mouse, yeah. Maybe. Oh, well, no, it's
No, this
changeable.
one.
It's
It's
changeable.
disgusting because it's actually got texture. It's not just that dirty. It actually has
I thought it
texture.
was like dirty. I'm like, that's
No, no, no,
bad,
no, no,
man.
no. Another story there. I worked with a guy called. He used to eat yogurt, and he got his hands dirty, and then would touch his mouse and keyboard, and he had this white crusted keyboard mouse setup scenario
Oh
going.
Jesus.
No. So this one, it does seem a little bit wider, which is interesting. And if I strip out the bottom, this is quite nice. So the little side thingy comes off.
Oh, that's cool.
So I've got the option of the too many buttons, because even if you played, and I played WoW, there's no way you're going to be using all 12 of these buttons.
Yeah.
It's too many. But now I can choose between that or just normal 2 buttons,
That's very cool.
or a little wheelie thing with 6 buttons and a.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Oh, it's a button.
so-
Oh, that's very cool.
I'll probably just try the plain one for first.
I get used to the Logitech has this little scroll wheel here on the side, and I got used to this one, and I use it for my volume. Like when I raise up my volume, I just do that, and I got so used to it that anytime I grab a mouse, I just try to lower the volume with that. So that's pretty.
Oh, yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, for me, it's the big thing is like the center wheel needs to click. And
yeah, like that.
the worst part now is I can't add this mouse on the stream, because then the scroll wheel will not be the right way around, because on Windows you have to do a registry edit to fix it, which is super annoying.
you're used to the Mac way of doing it, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm still on the like I've completely switched. Like when I do as a Mac, I use my touchpad like the pushing up thing. But on Windows, I'm fine with the normal way it's done. I'm used to that. So
So here's
I
the
don't
interesting
reverse
thing.
things.
So I understand that, because initially when they did that, a lot of people went like, "No, what's this? Is stupid. It's on all that." But having used it for years now, it's not just because it's muscle memory. It just feels the same. It feels good. It feels right.
I mean, I would say that the touchpad thing where you push up instead of down, I like that. Like I like the reverse touchpad. That's fine. The scroll wheel, I have no preference, but I'm very much used to the way traditional, like when you scroll down, the page goes down. That's fine for me. But for the touchpad, scrolling down sounds weird for me. It looks weird to me right now. So I use I flip my touchpads the other side, even on Linux. But the scrolly wheels I leave as is. So I'm just used to that.
Yeah. I actually don't know what Snapsticks is. Joe, can you elaborate a little bit more? Because I have no idea what that is. Yeah. Oh, and the Tron mouse. That would probably look nice. Sorry, we have got a little visitor again.
Hey,
Because
doggy.
certain people wants to go out because it's lunchtime this side, and she's obviously smelling someone's got lunch in the kitchen. This little scavenger is. So she's so bad. She always has food in her bowl, but she will go eat at 10 at night only, when she goes like, "Okay, fine, no human food today. Let me go eat my food."
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Man,
Okay,
I wish I had
she's
a dog. I
barking.
have a cat that hates me, so that's all I have. And he comes into the apartment like just screaming like food, and then just leaves. No
Darko?
affection whatsoever. What?
You once again misunderstand this relationship. It's the
I
cat
know.
has a Darko.
I know.
The cat decides what human it needs to look after. Yes. Cool.
I know. R2D2 poster, yeah. Cobus has this thing here. We're doomed.
Oh, we've got that, and you can't even see the rest. Yeah. The
What is that?
teeny tiniest R2D2 you would have seen before. And little friend Chewbacca. Oh, would I hide my face?
Nope. Not yet. There we go. Ah, Chewbacca. There we go. Wow. Cool. Well, it seems that the second part of the stream is us just doing random stuff, because we've ran around out of GitHub topics to talk about. Hey, the chat, because I see a lot of chatty people here. Do you have a question? Do you have some topic you want us to cover? We're open for everything, right? So just shoot it our way. We're quite open to talk about it. I didn't do any interesting tech today. Or actually last week, since we last met during the weekend. The only thing I did play a game called Factorio.
Definitely share that. That is so much fun.
Oh, man, it's such a great game.
If you're into AWS S3, or AWS, and want to learn quite a lot about S3, go play this game.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
awesome.
yeah, thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Gatsmas.
God. Yeah, the S3 game consists of 11 levels, of different different
Difficulty,
complexities. Yeah,
challenges.
I wouldn't say that they're actually. I wouldn't say that they're divided by challenge. And it was made by Vasily. Vasily works for AWS. He's a solution architect, and he made a game. It's not. I don't think that every next level is difficult. Like for me, the most difficult level was the S3 Select, and everything else was kind of like okay, it just goes. You kind of figure it out. But yeah, dang nuts! How long have you guys been working for AWS and or in the industry? I will let the older people talk first.
Wow. Is this not why I chase you off my lawn, Darko? So this is the fun part where we let our viewers know that there's almost a 10-year age difference between myself and Darko.
Yeah.
Which is amusing. I'm the younger one, of course.
Yeah, of course. You can see it with the gray hairs in my hair.
Yes, also all my gray hairs. So me, I have to always calculate. So I started working in 2005. So that's what, 15 odd years.
Wow, we haven't I'm almost work as much as you, man. I started in 2007. So
yeah, but remember, I did that classic thing: go to university, try and get an engineering degree. Because
fair point. Yeah, I didn't.
So background on this. This is one of those fun situations where, when I finished school, which was 99, and now you're starting to get a feel for the age. Computers were kind of there, but not really a thing yet. And
you finished high school in 99.
Yes.
Wow.
Like I said, get off my lawn. Exactly. Wait till you hear that my wife finished high school in 94.
Wow.
Yeah.
My wife was born in 95. 93. Fuck.
Wow. you, Darko. Okay, now we're going completely off script.
Yeah.
But okay, so background, there was at that point in time, computers weren't really a thing. There were computer science courses and things. I knew I was into computers and wanted to do that, but 2 engineers in the family, and there was this, oh no, you're going to do engineering, son.
Of course.
Obviously, it was still an option, but I didn't know any better then, so yeah. And yeah, that's how I ended up trying to do engineering. And after four years, I think I literally had my last year to finish. I'm like, no, this is definitely not for me. I've had enough, and then went to do a quick 6-month or year course on some software bits, doing SQL on paper, which is fun. My SQL exam was literally on paper. How to design tables and write queries with paper and pen. You weren't allowed to use a pencil.
I had a C exam. I had a C exam on paper. I wrote a C program on paper.
Yeah, and so that's my little 4 or 5 year detour after school before starting to work.
Okay, wow. So how long are you in the industry? How long? Well, you're in AWS for 2 years now, or a bit less.
Yeah, so January will be 2 years, but yeah, I've been full-time coding since 2005, but coding much longer than that.
Wow, that's very cool. I'm longer in AWS than Cobus. I'm almost 5 years now. So I started in AWS in premium support in Dublin. I was the person you were calling up or sending emails or chat messages when you had issues with AWS for 2 years. Then I was a solutions architect in Germany for 2 years almost. Well, no, actually 2 years to the date. And then finally, I'm now what you call a developer advocate, where like Cobus here as well, and myself, we talk to you developers, engineers, and try to, well, as you can see, entertain you, but also try to spend some.
We talk with developers.
With developers, okay. Well, okay, so that's the case right now. But I would argue I am stalking with my camera. I'm screaming at my camera, and some chat is shopping up. So I really wish that. I could be there and talk with you directly, right? So,
yeah, cool.
Kanir.
Boom. I'm making code pipeline CDK, and I want to name the deployment folder with the current timestamp, but I'm struggling to get the execution timestamp. It's such a first world problem, but it's my morning. Yeah.
What is the deployment?
So I'm assuming during his code pipeline, when he builds up the deployment artifact, he wants to timestamp that.
Wait.
There is a way for that. Yeah.
But this has nothing to do with the CDK, right? Per se. I mean, we're not changing infrastructure names. Deployment folder is not an infrastructure name thing, is it?
Well, that's the thing. I think, Connor, if you can give us a little bit more
S3.
Detail here, is it for a deployment artifact?
S3 is deploying into S3. So are you looking to deploy?
Ah,
So are you trying to create an S3 bucket with the current timestamp
I'm assuming
through
an S3 key,
CDK
not a. I'm
or just a
assuming
key?
put the files there.
Okay. 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 William,
Okay.
you can ask an amplify
Yeah,
question
go
as
for it.
well.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
weird. Oh, I mentioned this last time. Yes, amplify server-side rendering. That's a very cool feature. It came out last week, but we've talked about it on Friday. So because if you're deploying this, if you want to the directory to be or the key folder, whatever, want to be created with a date timestamp, this is where you do things with the actual deployment process. Your whatever is doing your deployment, is it going to be just code pipeline or is code build or something like that? You can kind of programmatically do it there. If you need to create an S3 bucket or a key within an S3 bucket through CDK, CDK runs generic programming languages, right? So you can just get a timestamp in a variable and use that variable as a name of a key or something, right? Again, you have the liberty to do that. Now, I don't really understand where this problem exists, so if you can elaborate, we're happy to discuss this. William,
Yes.
secure an amplify app that's only available to set of IPs. I want it to be internal for our company. I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can do that because this thing runs in an S3 bucket, which is not in your account. If I recall correctly, it runs in a Sept.
Yes, but it does do CloudFront.
It does do CloudFront. Okay.
That rings a bell. Let's have a look.
But okay, it deploys CloudFront because it doesn't deploy CloudFront? It deploys CloudFront, but does it deploy it in your account? Like it kind of like Amplify for me is this thing where I just throw an application at and it just runs. I know that there's no S3 bucket for it, right? There's no CI/CD pipeline created. Code pipeline doesn't run within your account, right? If I recall correctly. Maybe some of the elements are. William, there's an option that you can do a password, username and password, but that's not a solution, right? For sure. If it is using CloudFront in your account, you can do. Can you limit that thing on CloudFront? Can you like make limitations?
There's geo limits in terms of where people can connect from. I see.
But that's not. No. I don't think there's an easy way to do it. And William, in this case, follow the Amplify example, right? Unless you require some bells and whistles that it exists, if it's a statically built application, you can easily do the same thing yourself, completely serverless, completely in the same vein, by using some code pipeline tools, or in this case, you can use GitHub Actions if you want, and just deploy it to an S3 bucket. And then you can limit an S3 bucket. You can have conditional, like a bucket policies, depending on which IP range you're coming in. So you can do that on an S3 bucket. So, but it has to be an S3 bucket that you own. In this case, there are no features such as that on Amplify as of now. And that's the thing. Like Amplify and a lot of these services are very limited. They're very opinionated how they do things, and they're limited, and you can't do that. But that's good, right? The old saying goes, no good system started as a complex system, right? You start out with a very simple set of tools and frameworks, and then you build up, right? Can you WAF in front of Amplified and whitelist, blacklist IPs? You cannot WAF unless you can WAF in front of a CloudFront distribution. But I don't think
You might be
can
able
WAF.
to, but yeah, it's unfortunately I don't know WAF or Shield that well.
Yeah.
I've played it with it a little bit.
Shield is just DDoS. Shield is that, but WAF. This is where you can do like stuff. But I don't really know. Like Rehan. So yeah.
These are good questions.
Yeah, good question. Thank you very much.
Show notes.
We didn't do show notes. That's fine. God Spouse, 4 stars. What language do you recommend, SQL or Python? Those are two separate things. SQL is a server query language. It is a language, yes, but it's only used for database. Okay, whoa, not only. I'm sorry. It's primarily used for databases and database-like stuff, or how they call SQL databases or SQL databases. Python is just a generic programming language or a scripting language that's been used. So if you want to do things, for example, if you want to do things like in database scripting or building stuff or writing applications, Python is definitely the way to go. Actually, Python and JavaScript. I'll stand by that because Python and JavaScript are the two most important languages right now, and fight me. It's fine, but even they're not the most best languages in the world, but they're most important right now. Okay, so Kanir, the
Quickly,
pipeline goes through. Oh, go ahead, Cobus.
Sorry, I just want to add to the previous question. So the advice I got very early in my career is that you should focus on 4 language types. So when you think of SQL, that's a set-based language type where you've got data sets and you think about how to operate on the column level, aggregation level, because there's a certain thought process around how do you work with those kind of sets and set-based operations. Then the second one is do some kind of object-oriented program language, just because so many systems are built in them, Java, C#, pick your pick there in terms of, because there's a lot of work out there. Then pick some kind of like procedural dynamic scripting type language. Python obviously fits that, even though Python is also object oriented, or you can do it, but you can also use it for scripting language. So Python is actually dual purpose. It ticks 2 of those boxes. And then the last one is learning a functional language, which I still have to do. I can mess around a little bit in Elixir. Don't let me write anything.
I did some Haskell in my life, but nothing. I don't even know what's the difference between like a functional and a non-functional language. Like
a functional language is mathematically, well, depends if it's a pure functional one. Because if it's pure functional, the big benefit is that you can't have side effects in a function. So for example, when the code runs through it, like let's say object orientation, you pass in a reference to the object, then inside the function you can modify that object and then not necessarily return the object or something. Pure functional does not allow you to do this. You cannot mutate state for objects. You can take it and create new references the whole time, which means that you can mathematically prove that your code works and there are no side effects. And also, it breaks your brain to think that way. It's a completely different way of thinking. And that's why it's important, they say, to do all 4 of those, to just figure out what it is, what type of problem you're solving, because,
don't try to solve all problems with all languages, right? So when I said Python and JavaScript are the most important ones, is they are in the year 2020, they're the most important programming languages because they're the most used ones, right? Of course, there are amazing tools such as Golang, and there's also C++, and C is bigger than ever. Java, not to mention, like most things are written in Java. But if you look at the modern landscape of the cloud, of all the open source tooling out there, a lot of them are actually, that are being used day to day, are either JavaScript or Python based. Of course, a lot of them are written in Golang and whatnot, but it is very important to know those things. Okay, let's try to get into this Kanir's problem. Pipeline goes through code build, so naming the output folder in the build artifact makes sense. So I'll do it that way. Try to use datetime now, the CDK, but that generates a timestamp of the synth rather than the timestamp when the code actually. So yes, so don't do it. So if you need the date of the deploy, do not do it through code CDK, because CDK will just have a static date time of the deployment or the synthesis of the stack. If you're deploying your artifact to S3 or something to S3 through some other means, use code build. Make it much easier, right? No need to be sorry for the stream of consciousness. That's what we're here for, right? We like to chat and answer questions from people. So thank you very much for all the things you asked.
No. I mean, that's literally. I mean, as you can see today, we are literally poking around a few things and having fun conversations.
Sometimes these are the most fun things to do.
ARMS assembly. Oh, no, I did assembler.
My first assembly language was x86 assembly. Yes.
Same.
But then I did some 6502 or Commodore 65 MOS MOS 6502 assembly, which is much easier than x86. But
I did x86, and then the other one was I did some ANSI back in the day for a 4 kilobyte PIC PIC
PIC controller
program. I programmed a little Giza controller. It was quite fun.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Functionalized machine production.
No. Functional. You can build modern web applications with functional. You can build pretty much anything with functional. It's just a different type of language, in terms of the way the constructs work. So you don't necessarily, for example, have for loops. I believe you would do kind of like MapReduce type or recursion functions rather than those things. So certain ways that you would normally code aren't available, and they do it differently. Yeah.
The
So,
only
for
time,
example,
go ahead.
yeah. No, I was going to say Scala is
Scala,
a
yeah.
functional language, but it can be object oriented.
Yeah.
Um,
I think Scala is the most one used, at least Scala and Haskell, at least the ones I know. I've heard of Elixir, but never tried it. I've only played with Haskell, and Haskell I've only used it because one of my window managers for a Linux system that I used to run, Xmonad, is written in Haskell, and the way you configure it is just modifying Haskell code. And I hate how it looks. I hate Haskell. I don't like the syntax at all. It doesn't make me fancy. But that's a limit of my knowledge of that. But I do have friends who swear in functional language. They're like, you never need to do anything else besides functional programming. And like, I get it, but I don't. So no, I'm not smart enough to know the differences or to see where I could use functional languages, because I mean F# is, as mentioned here, but yeah, I think a lot of those languages are used for math or something like that. I don't know. R is used for math. Sorry, not F#.
Yeah.
R. So yeah.
Yeah, F#,
I mean,
it's fucked up, yeah.
you can do CDK in F#, by the way.
Yeah,
You can do
so
CDK in
F# is very alive and going. Yeah,
yeah. So ASP. Oh, bye. I haven't heard that. No, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time, right?
Yes. That's a
Active server
framework
pages.
it's a framework rather than it's a language. So
But
ASP pages.
it's in .NET, right, or something.
Yeah. It's active service pages, I think. So this is the equivalent of server-side rendering of pages. So if you think like, for example, Ruby on Rails, some of the PHP stuff where the page is built up on the server side and then sent to the front-end client. This was largely replaced by MVP, I suppose, if I remember correctly, in the .NET world. Yeah.
MVP, model view, or MVC. Is it MVC?
MVC, sorry.
Model view controller. Yeah, I remember that.
Yes. And then there's there's
That's the first time I heard
MVVM
it.
as well. Yeah, there's some funky things. I did a brief stint where I did some front-end development. I'm like, hell no, this is too complicated. Let me stick to the back-end. That's simple.
I did like only when it comes to Microsoft stuff. I only did C# in high school. We had like a 2 years class of C# in high school, and it was C# .NET. Of course, it was 2006. So .NET was the thing. It was just coming out there, and I liked C# in a limited sense, where you can make these lovely GUI apps back in Windows XP. But I've never touched C# since then. We didn't do C#. Did we do C# CDK together? We did Java CDK together. We didn't.
Yeah,
do
we did.
C#.
We were going to do C#, and then we went to the Java route rather. Yeah.
Okay. We might check out C#. I know C# is a massively used language. You know, it's a big language out there, right? So.
Oh wait, sorry, that one. Sorry, I misclicked. Where's my mouse? Yeah, I'll get to that now as well. How many languages? So my history is primarily I did years long with both C# and Java. So those are the main ones, and then after that, it kind of becomes like other ones that I can fiddle with. I did a bunch of Android and iOS development, so I know a bit of Objective-C. I know enough Java on Android to do things there. A chunk of Ruby on Rails, a chunk of Python. I actually don't only Golang, strangely enough. I just haven't had opportunity for that yet.
No.
Trying to think, what other language? Oh, Bash. I have to put that there. Bash.
Yeah.
Need to mangle that. Yeah.
I'm in a similar bucket. I've never been a developer, like a full-time developer. Developing was my job. I was an operations / sysadmin person, so my focus was more on scripting languages. So I know Bash and Batch, like the Windows variant, and PowerShell was a big thing for me for a long time. And of course, the language I'm most competent in, or like can actually sit and do something, is Python. So Python is something that I can kind of find myself around. JavaScript now is also okay-ish. And the first money I made off a program was in PHP, of all things. So basically, I wrote a small, I think it was a Facebook app back then, a Facebook application in PHP, and it was horrible. Like, do you want me to share my bad design decisions?
It's not necessarily in the past.
It's in the. This one is like, so. If there's any software developers out in the chat, I'm sorry, but I've created a Facebook application where people could do some like an online quiz, and they can potentially earn a prize, whatever. It was super simple, and for every new user registered, I would create a new table. Every new user had a new table on MySQL. So it was dynamic. So I ended up having thousands of tables. It was ridiculous. And somebody told me, no, don't do that.
So, if it makes you feel better, I know there was an article years ago, it's the daily WTF, I think, on programming, where there was a senior developer who did the same, and his argument was for performance reasons, because a single row in a table is very performant. So I'd rather do lookups against different tables the whole time. So ended up for ordering system creating a table per user or per timestamp. Sorry.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Man. Jesus. Like, yeah. It's like it was my first. Basically, like somebody asked me, "Hey, can you make this application?" I'm like, "Yes." I never did PHP before. Like I know how to use PHP, but never did it. I'm like, "Yes," and I earned like 50 euros from it. I believe that was my money earned back in 2011. 2012 actually. So yeah. So that was my.
So
first
quick one here for Joe Frickson. Which is this one, which is difficult finding a job without dev expert. So here is an interesting career hack. So I came from the development side, then went into automation and stuff, ended up being a DevOps engineer, as it's called. That is not a bad route to follow, where you know how to automate and you know a bit of programming to do the config and secret management in apps, but not anything else. Because here's the dirty secret. When you go into that level of automation where it's like work on the cloud infrastructure, build the systems, you've got the AWS building blocks that you need to know well, you don't actually need to know what the actual application does. Yeah, remember, exactly. You're making the app work better, so you're worried about, can I measure the performance, can I see the logs and those kind of things, but what the actual business use case is, you don't have to worry about it too much, because you'll probably be more focused on config, deployments, automation, monitoring, all of those things. So
yeah. I mean, exactly. Like I've never worked in a development role, and not. I know in the modern DevOps world, you know, they call developer and operations are the same thing. It's not. No, it doesn't work that way, right? It is, but it's not. It's not that you're a support person or an engineer. You all of a sudden need to be proficient in Golang and Rust and whatnot, right? So you have to be able to understand the concepts of development, not because you need to be a developer, but because everything is code now. Everything you do on the cloud, everything you do in a modern system is in some sort of a code. So as long as you are experienced with how things should be functioning, how you build systems, how you architect systems, that's fine. Everything else is just syntax. So.
Well, it depends on what you're applying for, Joe. And just quickly, this is why you shouldn't leave me alone with a permanent marker and a...
Yeah.
Yes.
I hope you do tattoos like that one day.
Sorry.
If I didn't hate finger, I can do a tattoo, but I hate finger tattoos, so I might do DevOps or something like that.
Okay. What's it? Not John Carpenter. Constantine. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. But yeah, so just quickly going on with that one, with Joe Frickson's question is that the interviewers are not interested in this answer. Well, it depends what type of job you're going for. Because remember, an interview is hey, I've got some skills of things that I can help you solve with, or specific types of problems and challenges that I'm good at solving, and also I've got the ability to learn new things. On their side, they're like, hey, we've got these challenges. That's why we're hiring someone. We need someone to solve this, which means that if you get that kind of mismatch, it means you might be looking at the wrong types of jobs. So rather look at jobs where you can say, listen, look at like more sysadmin, more automation, because everybody needs automation nowadays. The amount of work out there saying, hey, cloud engineer, automation, SRE, those kind of things. Like just look at the job spec and have a discussion with them saying, listen, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to focus on. Then
yeah, nobody clicks anymore. Let's call it that way. So, and of course, Joe, if you're applying for a developer position, that's a problem, right? That's a completely set of course, then you have to understand the big O notation and complexities and algorithms and whatnot, right? The things the developer
and Java, passing by reference versus passing by value. I remember all of those old questions. Yeah,
I remember once my weirdest interview question was for this big Linux company, let's call them that way. They interviewed me and they asked me to write them a regular expression for detecting credit card numbers or email address. I don't recall something. And like I was a junior back then. Like I know what regular expressions are, but like to get a regular expression out of my head, like how you query, buddy, no. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I've had some horrible ones as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Let's quickly grab this last one before we wrap up,
we have
which
to
is
close
how
down.
can I apply to a dev advocate position at AWS? That part is easy. There is Amazon.jobs. If you find one there, click the apply button, and you kick the process off.
Yeah.
The more interesting part is what are the requirements for this role? So we all have got a lot of technical experience because the whole point behind this role is being able to go technically very deep with customers and explain things and build things. So like myself, I mean, I've got years of coding, I've got years of automation, I've worked across Linux, Windows, all of those things. And I mean, Darko is similar in the sense that we actually have a very high overlap in terms of skill set and history, in terms of things we've worked on. Because I know, for example, your chef stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we all come from like kind of a technical background, and that's the most important thing. Like developer advocates, even though we sit in marketing, we are very technical, and we try to be this very honest part of marketing towards you. We have missed Zinas's question, and is what are thoughts on MS Blazor?
Yes, let's get to that after this quickly.
Yeah. So very important to be technical, but also very important to be. You need to be vocal. You need to be loud about things you want. You know, you have to put your voice into things. But also, you need to have like a way of delivering things. So as you can see, we're expressive, and you need to be able to talk to people, especially on stage and in front of chat. And it's easy from home, but talking for an hour on stage sometimes can be very exhausting. So that's also a thing, right? Okay, so Zenas says we don't have a stream break. We actually have to stop the stream because we are potentially cutting in somebody else's time.
Luckily not. I checked. We are fine, but
okay,
we can in the future make this a 2-hour show. I mean, it seems there's time for it. But I mean, so quickly, the question is, what are our thoughts on MS Blazor? I want to say that this is the server-side rendering type framework. I literally have to Google it now because I know the name, but I don't know. See quickly.
It's building client web apps with C#. So I don't know. Like I'm completely. I know Cobus did something with C#. But it's basically WebAssembly.
Okay. This is where I will go like ignorance. I know about WebAssembly is making a lot of noise on front ends and things, and it's very fast. But I've also heard some people going like the way it's implemented is very specific and not necessarily according to standard, and it depends. So yeah.
I mean, looking at the code snippet they have here, like the code snippet basically says it's like HTML, and then within the HTML you have the add code thing, and you run some C# code. So that's very interesting. I like it.
So from my experience, that sounds like more like React, because I know the big difference between React and I think Angular and some other frameworks is that you split your template, which is what the page looks like, with the actual code portion that does things, and then it's hard to always understand where React is all meshed in together like that.
Yeah. So I mean, looking at this, like Blazor can run your client-side C# code directly in the browser. It uses WebAssembly to run C#. So it's very interesting. So very cool. Cool.
Yes. So Dankans.
Okay. Dankans, depending on on which channel you're looking at, because we are streaming this on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places. We're streaming on YouTube, 3 Twitch channels, and Periscope. So depending on where you are, you may not see all the chat. Unfortunately, we can see all the chat, and that's why we pop up videos, pop up questions like yours. So that's kind of a thing.
So quickly on that note, then just a little bit of self-promotion before we wrap up is you can actually see once I get this banner out the way. There we go. Here you can see our Twitter details at the bottom. You can see our different Twitch streams. So currently what we're doing is we are streaming on the official AWS channel because we've got the slot that we do this as an official AWS thing. But then we also dual stream to our own Twitch channels. And then also this goes to YouTube on the side to provide a recording for you. We actually don't have the YouTube on here. We should probably put that.
We do. Well, not our YouTube. Oh, sorry. We have a specific YouTube channel for these things. So we have our own specific YouTube channels where we do our own independent stuff. But we have a collective YouTube channel, basically called Not Cobus, Not Darko, where we put all the bean streaming stuff. Restream.io, I use that for my own streams. We don't use Restream in this case because we are using a service called StreamYard.
StreamYard.
That allows us to do all this. So this is not through OBS or anything. It makes it easier for getting people into chat, like into stream. It's difficult to do it in OBS. So like this, it makes it very, very simple. So.
Sorry. Because the other nice thing here is that you set up all the different locations you want to send it to. And then, for example, I've got the browser open with just one page. I mean,
me too.
I can't show it without going into that infinite view, which is,
So
we've
tutorials
got
on YouTube? Yeah, we do. On both of our
So
channels.
so I've been focusing a bit on getting started with Terraform. There was a good push and then a week gap and then a push and then a week back gap. And I will hopefully now, the last month has been a little bit rough. I think I did something like 35 or 40 sessions in total of things. I'm not doing that again, so I'm not going to be focusing a little bit more on my YouTube stuff because I have learned to say no.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
I also do, like, most of my YouTube stuff is my streams. I do basically at least one stream a week on some AWS technical topic. And it's me usually diving into a service. It's in the evening. It's 6 p.m. European time. So it's like a late after work stuff. And I post all those streams on YouTube. And it's sometimes they can be very technical or they can be very straightforward, like talking about like secrets manager or parameter store. And sometimes it can be just me trying to figure out what Terraform is. So it's a hit or miss. So if you're interested, check it out. Most of them have timestamps. So if you're interested in something very specific on that topic, it's usually timestamped. The YouTube channels are both there. Make sure to subscribe. And
also, quickly before we wrap up, just want to touch on streaming on the rocks because it might be making a comeback.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, Stefan. Stefan is my SA colleague for Germany. Hi, Stefan.
Yes.
We already finishing our stream, Stefan. So it's ending right now. So you have came at the end part of it. But streaming on the rocks, Cobus, yes.
Yes. So this is originally where Darko and I started our streaming, career. I would rather say relationship because it's a little bit more intimate than career. Where we did evening streams where we had a beverage of some kind. I used to stick to whiskeys and he did G&Ts, so gin and tonics, and then we would talk tech and play with things. And then unfortunately, because this was initially on Friday nights, that ended up being a little bit difficult. The time slot we just had with myself getting the kids to bed, so we then renamed to Bean Streaming. But we have been talking about getting it up and going again a bit later now because I have sleep trained my one kid, so I can actually do things in the evenings every now and again. Because obviously I tag team with my wife with the second kid, but
so we may bring it back. So we'll let you know. Make sure to follow us on the social medias, LinkedIn's, Twitter's, whatever you see.
And then you'll know when we go live.
Yeah, and we'll let you know. And it's basically like we don't get drunk. Well, maybe
no,
but we just have a drink and we talk tech, and it's usually this format. We sometimes build something. The only difference between Bean streaming and streaming on the rocks is the drink of choice and the time. It's usually in the evening,
and also I think we've got a bit that used to be, but we are thinking about, because there's a lot of requests for us to just talk about our industry experience and how you do this and those kind of things. So we're very keen to bring that back. Yeah.
Cool. We need to do one thing for Kanir. Kanir says the stream cannot end without a closing dad joke. So Cobus, you have a couple of seconds to think of a dad joke.
I shall do what I did on the AWS Africa office hours then, because we had a solution architect networking expert. And then I told them my best UDP joke ever.
He didn't get it right. Oh man.
Yeah, there we go. For those new to the stream who don't know, UDP is a confirmationless protocol, which means you send a packet, but there's nothing on the other side telling you got it, which means that you may or may not get the packet, and in this case, you may or may not get the joke. Yeah.
Or I can tell you a UDP joke, but I don't care if you get it or not. Right? So. Oh man.
Yes.
There's also the one like two SQL admins walk into a NoSQL bar. They couldn't find a table and they leave.
Oh, there's the other one that's fun. I think I pulled it on you, Darko. It's like you're in a room with a table, no door, no window. How do you get out?
Oh, I forgot.
You cut the table in half.
Cut the table in half?
Yeah, because two halves make a whole.
Jesus, man.
Okay, and with that,